Now I super have to pee, so I'm gonna do that really
Go,
quick.
go, go. You will see me walking around a little bit because I currently have 3 extra dogs and 2 extra cats I get to look at. But hey, stop. Go outside. You too. Go outside. Nope, all the way outside. Not down the hall because you're not getting the other dog. Go. I know, I'm gonna come out too. Thank you. Oh, you're muted. No.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Are you up there by yourself?
I am.
Nice.
You're rude. I'm going inside. It's funny that Javi's the one that barks and he is like the most submissive of all of them.
Really?
Yes. But I have my little dog too. And I was like, okay, well, I know for sure they will kill cats and mine's the same size.
So I wanted to let you know I am recording this session not to be shared in any way. It's just for me to watch myself and honestly just to kind of give myself a grade as to how I'm handling doing all of this for my own feedback for myself.
Oh.
So hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you went to San Marcos, even though I know it wasn't like what you really wanted to happen. I bet something great is going to happen.
I had this like sudden calling on the way here to be like something in me is like, you need to go play the lottery. And I'm like, what? I don't play the lottery. And it's like, no, you need to go play the lottery. And I'm like scratch offs? No, bitch, you need to go play the one with the numbers. And I'm like, okay. Like in San Marcos? Yes. Okay. Okay.
I love that.
We will go find a lottery ticket after work today.
That is so funny. And when I was younger, we would always stop in Giddings on the way to Austin. And we would always stop, and my parents would always buy a lottery ticket. And I like don't really know why, or I didn't know why until I started driving, and they were like, okay, don't forget to stop and get a lottery ticket. One time ever, somebody won the lottery in Giddings at this from this like specific gas station. And so for 20 years after that, my parents were like, don't forget to buy your lottery ticket in Giddings. It's never happened again. It's like
Nope, it'll happen in other towns now.
when you feel the call, listen. By all
Yeah.
means, receive that free money.
Because I'm not one that ever plays the lottery, and like every once in a while I'll buy a scratch off for fun, or I like at Christmas time, I'll like get a bunch of different ones and give them as gifts for fun because I don't ever expect like anybody to win anything. But
I
and
love
then I
winning.
saw
It doesn't
bluebonnets on
happen.
my drive and I was so happy and they made me all like teary-eyed.
Yeah. So why don't you tell me about, if you want to, about your experience with your dad? Is that something that you still want support through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was here for like 36 hours. He came in Friday evening. I got a call from him at like 2 in the afternoon. He's like, "Hey, I'm on my way, but I'm leaving late." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I'm on my way for the birthday party." I'm like, "Oh, okay. How long are you staying?" He's like, "Well, it's on Saturday, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'll leave Sunday." Okay. He drove 8.5 hours to come to a birthday party,
And
which
whose birthday was it?
my little one, it was her
Oh,
birthday
okay.
party
Oh,
because she turns 7 tomorrow.
yeah.
And he like left at like, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning. So like I didn't get any real actual time with him.
Mhm.
And I was like really sad about it. And then fucking co-parent. He is such a typical man. His job for the birthday party was to make sure that there was food and plates and silverware and a cake. Were there enough plates? No. Was there any silverware? No. Did he actually bring something to cut the cake with? Also, no. Did he tell me thank you for any of the parts that I did? No.
Hmm.
I wanted to strangle him a lot. So I had that like frustration in me, and then my dad leaving and like not really getting any time with him. And I was just like, these fucking men in my life.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well that's pretty victim mentality right there. um,
Well, people can be frustrating and you can empower yourself all at the same time. All of it can be true all at the same time.
this is true.
So, what do you think the base of all of that is? Like what do you think how or really tell me like what have you done since then to support yourself?
Um, I cried. And then like Maggie was like, "Did I do something?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm just having my own
Oh,
big feelings." She's like, "Okay."
what a
And
sweetie
then
pie.
um I went and I used a little bit of distraction, but also like going out and seeing people and going to like a little market and looking at plants and having lunch with Pack was really nice. Hey, do not pee on that, sir. He's like, "This is new territory. I get to mark." No, you do not.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of that this week.
Yeah, yep. It's all male dogs.
Perfect.
And one is a little one. So he's like, "I am the boss." Like, nope, the cats are. um,
So you cried and you went out and were around people and you went and got fresh air and you moved your body by walking through a market. What else?
then I took Puppy and I dropped him off at home and took myself to go get plants. And
Delightful.
I was like, I want to go to the bookstore and I want to go to the plant store. And I was a little tipsy, could have had a margarita. Uh, and I was like, okay, let me look at the hours that they're open. And I was like, well, that closes too soon, so I'll just opt for plants. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a money tree. Did I get a money tree? Absolutely not.
What is a money tree? Is it a bamboo tree? Because that's what I'm thinking of.
It is the roots kind of like resemble a bamboo tree, but instead
Mhm.
of it being that like pine tree type texture in the branches, it's like a 5 leaf thing. It's like
Hmm.
that's an avocado tree, so I can't show that to you. But
I'll have to Google it. But I bet I'm
I'll
thinking of something similar. So you
Probably.
so what did you get?
Um, I got a blueberry bush that is pink lemonade blueberries. I
What?
I got a plum plant that'll give me plums. I got a lemon zinger succulent thing and planted that. The other ones have been, I planted the blueberries and the plums. I planted the zinger. What else did I get?
Zinger.
Um,
I love that.
I got a zebra plant and I got a some type of bug eating plant that's the
Mm.
one that holds the pitchers instead
It
of the
wait.
Venus flytrap. It has like a cup that it like lures them into and then
Oh,
gulp.
that's fun. I love that. You got some
Um,
really sensual plants. I love this. Do
I
they
got
smell really good? Do they smell like how crazy their names sound?
I can't smell very well, so I don't know. But I'm
That's
really excited about like the fruit because like when I was checking out, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, these are like really sweet blueberries," and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds nice." And I was like,
yeah.
having plums. I don't even know if I like plums, but I like the idea of having them.
I love plums, so if you don't end up eating them, I'll take them.
I've planted multiple lemon seeds in various places. So in an optimal world, I have 7 lemon trees coming.
That's so funny.
Um, in the 75% off area, there was like a plant with absolutely like no container, no nothing, and just purple flowers. And I was like, You are coming home with me. And then
Yeah.
there were two like almost dead, like pothos type plants. And I was like, You guys are 75% off. I was like, You're obviously coming with me. There
Are
were two
you
other
like
kinds.
a plant witch? Like, do you have a green thumb? Is that something that you enjoy?
When I give them attention.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Same for
Um,
you. When you give yourself attention, you thrive.
yes, I like plants, and it's been a long time since I've bought any new ones. So it was really nice. And I like talked myself out of a couple of them because I was like, that is a $50 plant. We are not buying a $50. I was like, if you want a $50 plant, you're putting back 3 of these others. And I was like, oh, I don't like that idea at all.
That's funny. I talk myself that way about spending money as well. Okay, we're kind of on a little bit of a
Sorry.
tangent. So let's like reverse it a little bit and go back to
I've
whatever you want the most support with, I guess, is probably your dad, but you tell me. And like
it's
let's
more
dive into that.
like the feeling of not getting enough attention, of not being like worthy of their time and appreciation.
Hmm.
Um, I I journaled about it. Um, I did some like drip sexy time stuff on my bed.
Hmm.
I lit some candles and I just was like, no, I am fucking worthy, but also like my dad can't know that I want him to stay if I don't ask him to stay. And
Hmm.
also, I need to be grateful because like he drove 16 hours to spend 36 hours here.
Hmm.
And like, okay, that's kind of cool, but also it would have been nice if he had done that when I was a kid.
Hmm.
And he won't ever take accountability for being absent because
Hmm.
he doesn't feel like he had a choice. He loved his job, and my mom got accustomed to the life that she wanted to have.
Hmm.
Um, so he was like, I didn't have a choice. And I'm like, no, your choice was to continue that. And
Hmm.
he's like, no, I didn't have a choice. I'm like, okay, I can't force you to accept that you did make a choice, but I
Hmm.
can own the fact that like I don't want those kind of choices in my future. So I did vocalize that I didn't want him to like put a casino above us, and he didn't.
Hmm.
When I wrote down that I wanted a visit from my dad, I should have been a little more specific because I got a visit from my dad.
Well, let's pause there for a second because
Like
I
I
love
literally
that.
wrote that down on my like February wishes. Was like I want a visit from my dad.
Okay. So I just wrote down so much stuff. And where I believe that you are best served by me being in your life is to help you celebrate all the ways that you showed up for yourself. Because I think it's very important for you to recognize how different your one different choice in how you handled what happened and all of those energetic shifts could have led you to a completely different like feeling and experience. So let's just give you credit for all of these tools that you used in this challenging experience. So you poured love into yourself. You recognized what you okay, reverse. You recognized that you are not your feelings and that you were having an emotional experience. One. Two, you named those emotional experiences. I am feeling underappreciated. I am feeling like I am not getting enough attention. I am feeling unworthy. Three, you interrupted those thought patterns and said, no, I am worthy and I am empowered to give myself that appreciation, affection, and attention. Then you had took aligned action, did drip, you actually like lit candles, created a moment and an experience for yourself. So you poured into your own experience and then you did drip. You loved yourself. You reminded yourself that you are worthy. You gave yourself the attention that you deserve. Then you used gratitude as a way of keeping you grounded in the present moment because you do have experiences with your dad from the past that are very, very valid. And you were able to see that there was something wonderful that did happen. So you were able to find joy. And you recognize your responsibility in all of this is to always and forever speak what you desire into the universe. So you know and recognize that next time when you obviously you're powerful enough to manifest your dad coming in to visit, right? Clearly you can make that happen. So the next
That and the
time,
kitchen remodel, like I'm manifesting some big shit.
so obviously you are powerful as fuck, right? Obviously you are creating the life of you that you desire. It's plain as day. You have the
Yeah.
evidence that that is happening. So now you know you are equally as empowered to shape it a little bit more and add in a little bit more detail. You know that you need to use your voice. You acknowledge that. That's wonderful. So now you can move forward with zero regret, zero guilt, zero shame, and you have joy and gratitude for this moment. And now, when you move forward, the next time you say, how long are you going to be in town? And he says, oh, I'll leave the next day. Then you say, I would like it if you stayed one more day. And I would like
Yeah.
for us to have some intentional time together. And then, whatever happens after that, you have your tools, right? Because
Yes.
everyone has the same human rights as you. So he is perfectly within his rights to disappoint you, and it might happen, and that's okay. Then you have your tools to again show up for yourself and to keep showing up for yourself. And by doing that, you are healing all of the past stuff that came with your dad. Because, like you said, whatever he's capable of acknowledging or not acknowledging is his responsibility. And your responsibility is to just constantly and continually pour into yourself and remind yourself how worthy and loved you are. And that's what you're doing. And by doing that over and over and over and over again, you are healing your past experiences and your past trauma. How does that land? How does that feel?
So good. So good. Like, and I've been connecting with the different decks that I was talking to you about on our last meeting. Like, I played with them over the weekend too,
Mhm.
and they really connected too. And one of them was like, you should garden things and grow things. And I was like, oh. And that was like the day after I bought the plants. It's like, maybe you should like play in the dirt. And I'm like, yes, I should.
Yeah,
So
totally.
yesterday I was like, we're going to plant all these things because I'm leaving town.
Yay! I mean, there's no better way to ground yourself than to literally put yourself in
Yep.
the ground, you know?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
I am so excited, and I planted things that I hope will like take over my whole yard, like creeping thyme and lemon thyme instead of having grass.
Yeah, totally. Let's well, first let's do a little check-in. After celebrating yourself and going down that list of the things that you did to show up for yourself, Do you feel empowered in that situation? Looking back, can you see how empowered you are?
I absolutely do. It's funny. Part of my journaling, like I wrote a letter to co-parent about how I felt.
Mhm.
And in my mind, when I was writing it, I was like, I'll just write all my feelings out and then I won't have to say anything because all of it like felt it. And then something happened like the very next morning, and I was like, I don't feel appreciated, and I didn't during our marriage, and I still don't now. And he was like, thank you for sharing that with me. You're welcome.
I'm really glad you got that out. There are maybe other ways, but I'm really glad you got that out.
Not with that man, no.
Sure, I don't know.
With
You're
other
probably
people, maybe.
100% right. You're probably 100% right. But did that feel better once you used your truth, like use your voice to speak your truth?
It did. It
Yeah.
did. Because he was like, well, my mind went into this, and I was like, I'm not talking about like this random thing that happened this morning. I'm talking about like you didn't thank me for the party. You didn't acknowledge like all the shit that I would have done if it had been me responsible for it. Like all these other things. And he's just like, okay.
Okay.
And
And
then he like saw me later, and he like acted like nothing happened. So I was like, here's this meme about a a September Libra compared to an October Libra, because he is a September Libra.
are you in October?
I am. And so like
That-
one side of the room is super messy, the October Libra, and one side of the room is super military level clean, the September Libra.
That's really funny. Well, aren't the Libras the scales? Like, isn't it about balance?
Yep. We did not balance well.
I don't know if two Libras make a balance scale, but I don't know a whole lot of Libras, to be completely honest. I'll have to research you so that I can get to know you better. So you handled your experience with your co-parent by letting your voice be known, like getting your truth out there, not bottling it up, not holding on to, which are past behaviors, right? That we would have done in a past life. So let's celebrate
Yeah.
that too. That's worthy of a hell yeah.
It is. There's so much. Ugh. It's mm, he's dumb. I have this hidden truth
Do you want to
oracle
let it
deck
out?
that I was like playing with, and I was like, show me what, like, if he said the things that he wanted to say, and it was like, I'm still in love with you. I want to be more than friends. And I was like, he is not allowed to say those things. They're like, you asked. I'm not asking that question again.
Well, you asked.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. I
That's
was hoping for
why.
that, like,
Yeah, we can't fuck
appreciation
around with
card.
other people's sovereignty and autonomy. That's what happens. You don't always get the
Yep.
answer that you want.
Nope. Nope. I was like, okay, I release that. I release my anxiety about him and that stuff. And I appreciate what I do for my kids.
Mhm.
And my kids will figure out that they appreciate it too.
Yeah, totally.
It's not normal for a kid to like vocalize appreciation.
I don't really know what's normal for a kid, but I do know that as soon as you get clear on what you know is true, other people's input really matters a lot less, including your
Yeah.
kids. Including your kids, which like it should be important to you that you're a good mom. That's important. Like that's a pretty key ingredient to being a good mom is that you want to be a good mom. And
Yeah.
and the input that you receive from co-parent about that, it is like this is how I'd see it. I see other people's feedback is when I want it, I'll take it, and when I don't want it, it doesn't exist. Take what serves and leave the rest. And if I'm at a point in my receiving where I feel a lot of resistance to someone else's feedback, then I need to work on something to be able to see that, like what they're saying. And when you offer that to co-parent, when you offer like what your feedback is, I haven't felt appreciated and like this is why. then that he's like not he wasn't even considering what you were talking about. You know, he was thinking about it was like a whole other thing. And so it like it's going to take some time for him to get into a place for him to want to receive that. And I think most people are like that. Most people resist feedback because their ego is like, "Nuh-uh." And it's like and it just takes a second. It more than a second, but it just takes a while to get into a place to receive that. And so like the most important thing for you to do is to continue to feed into yourself
Yeah.
and like that means that you need to make a list of what is being a good mom mean to you so that whenever you are in need of that validation, instead of seeking it from someone else, you can get it from yourself and look down your list of what's important to you of being a good mom and say, did I show up in this way? Check. Did I do this? Check. Did I do this? Check. Okay, then I'm a good fucking mom. And now I can move on. And I don't need anyone else to tell me that I'm a good mom. You know?
That's exactly how my journaling went. Letter to co-parent, all these positive things to myself.
Mhm. That's
In the
great.
morning, wakes up, still has a little bit to say.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
It is. It is. And like I remember vividly my mom telling me things like, you don't appreciate me. You
Mm,
don't appreciate any of the stuff I do. And so I got to the point where I was like, I appreciate this. I appreciate that. Thank you for this. Thank you for
yeah.
that. Like during my marriage, I thanked him all the time for
Mhm,
working hard and all
mhm.
of these things. And then I realized that part of the time he wasn't.
Yeah.
So that sucked.
Yeah, totally. And there's like so many sides to that too, that I've learned in working with intimacy with partner and within partnership of it's been reflected back to me by my partner, but seeing it in him of like sometimes when we have a not enoughness complex or like I am unworthy, when that's like a loop in our minds, receiving becomes really hard. And like if you want to talk about it like spiritually, I mean, I think that would be like a heart chakra thing of like opening your heart chakra to be more vulnerable to then receive. And so like if you have that not enoughness or unworthiness thing happening in your mind, then when someone else tells you that they appreciate you, you can't receive it. And so it just kind
Yeah.
of like bounces off. And that's not like a you problem. Like tell someone you love
No.
them and that you appreciate them, but I just say that to point out that like when you're like, "Hey, I'm doing this," like why aren't you why doesn't it feel like you feel like I appreciate you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then it's kind
Or
of like
why does it not feel like it's reciprocated?
yeah, and it's that's part of it, right? Is like if they can't receive it, how are they supposed to reciprocate it? You know?
Yep.
And so just kind of applying that I guess compassion to it and I think it makes it a little bit easier for you like on your end to understand their perspective, whether it be your mom, whether it be co-parent, whether it be a person you come across in the future where you are such a giving person, you give love so easily and so freely. And like some people, you know, I understand why from a perspective of someone who gives and gives, why it's like, why is this not coming back to me with the same with the same energy?
Right.
And it's a lot of times we can remove ourselves from it and we can like not take it personally and we can know that some people just don't aren't able to. Some people are
Yeah.
working on being able to receive what we're even offering to them. So like being able to give it back in that same energy might not even be possible for them. And that just relieves us of like the is it me kind of thought. You know, like
Yeah.
you can kind of be like, is it me? Be like, no, I don't think it is me. I'm giving and I love that, you know, as long as you're
Yeah.
giving and you're asking for consent, like, do you even want this from me? And like all of those things, and like you're being clear about what it is that you're giving, as long as you're showing up the way that you know you need to show up, you can kind of remove the is it me from it and be like, oh, this isn't a me problem. I'm just going to keep loving and like, you know, and that's it.
Yes. And it feels better to be able to do that and
Yeah.
to send him nice feelings instead of angry feelings.
Yeah, I mean, be frustrated, girl. Of course, like people in general are frustrating. They can be, right? Like dealing with people isn't always easy, and not everybody is doing the same amount of work that you're doing to like
Or
be
any work.
yeah, or any work at all. But like even the same work of like some people are just working on different shit. And like right now you're working on being really clear about who you are and how you want to show up in the world. And so like some people aren't doing that and they don't know how to reflect that back to you, and that
Yeah.
just is what it is. And that's part of your like every time you have an awakening or whatever, and you feel as though, or a dark night of the soul or whatever you want to call it, and you feel like that loneliness that creeps up, is just because you're figuring out the people you're in resonance with. You're figuring out like, oh, there are people that are in doing the same kind of work that I'm doing that are going to understand where I'm coming from, and then there are people who aren't. And a lot of times the people who aren't are the people who fall away, and we're just like, meow, I wish you were doing the work. Too bad you're
Yeah.
not. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I've had that feeling with some people lately.
And it happens. And we just have to remove ourselves from the part where we take it personally. And we can grieve that we've lost somebody who's important to us, and we can, like give ourselves the time and the love and remind ourselves constantly that this is just part of life. Like this is just
Yeah.
part of it and part of being. And then we get to find joy for what's going on of like, oh, I am grieving and it is sad that I'm losing these people that I love. And I'm so joyful that non-resonance means that I'm aligned with who I am. Non-resonance with these other people mean that I know who I am, and we can like
Yeah.
celebrate that. And that's really exciting.
And I'm making space for what does align for me.
Exactly. Precise. Are you closing doors so that dogs don't pee everywhere?
No, I brought the other ones in from outside and I'm hoping to put them in the cage so I can let the little one outside. But there's one that's just like scared of everything.
Oh, poor
Hey,
baby.
go home. Why would both of you go in the tank? Like, go home. Like, there is a pit bull, a fluffy dog, and a German Shepherd mix.
Those
And
are
the pit
great dogs.
bull is the wiggliest thing in the entire world
Of course.
and the
They are.
least, like, no respect for boundaries or anything or personal space.
Never.
So he fit into the smaller kennel with the German Shepherd, who is like, the fuck? No. At
He's
some
like,
point, I have to take
absolutely fucking not.
them to the bedroom so I can let the cats have the house. And I'm like, okay, can I hang out in the house with the cats and leave the dogs in the bedroom? Probably not. We're going outside.
Outside is good. Outside in San Marcos is awesome.
Yes, and she has this like gorgeous wind chime right here.
It sounds beautiful.
I love her backyard. It's very fairy world fae.
I love that. What else you got going on, sister?
I left town with I picked my tile and stuff last night with the contractor like 8 o'clock at night because I was like, I leave town tomorrow. Tee.
Are they gonna work on the house while you're gone?
I left him a key and he's like, you can leave your dog if you need to. I was like, no, that's not
No.
happening.
Well, that's so cool. I love that color scheme.
I'm so excited. Like as soon as I saw that gray countertop, I was like, nope, that countertop. He's like, these other ones. I was like, well, that's pretty too. But I'm like, nope, it's that one.
Those are really pretty. I love that. Is it granite or marble?
It's quartz.
Okay. It's pretty. I like that.
Yeah. Like the white with other color marbling is pretty normal, but seeing the gray with the white marbling is pretty unique. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. And I
Well,
get to like come home to the kitchen being like mostly done.
Yeah. Are the appliances aren't gonna be there, or they will?
They arrive tomorrow.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Are you getting
He's
your
like, I'll be
floors
here to
redone
receive
too?
them. I'll send you pictures.
Are your floors getting redone too?
No, I had the floors redone when I had the pipe burst.
Okay.
They're putting in tile in the spots that didn't have tile before.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
He was like,
Oh.
your other contractor was not respectful. And I was like, you don't even know the half of it.
You're like, yes, you're correct.
He's like, he didn't respect the tile. And I was like, nope, that's why I bought more.
Well, let's talk about. Hmm. Do you have the ability to like take a seat?
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. So, why don't you sit up nice and tall? Maybe bring your hands to your heart, maybe a hand to your belly. Shut down your eyes. Listen to that beautiful wind chime. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big breath out of your mouth. A big breath in through your nose and a big breath out. Do that one more time. One more huge breath in through your nose and a big sigh out. And as you sit here and you breathe and return to your natural breathing rhythm, I want you to go back to December when we met at the retreat. And I want you to kind of just think about your general experience. Maybe think of 3 words that you could name to your how you were feeling at that time in your body and in your mind and in your life. Just think of 3 words. 3 words that you could associate to how you were feeling in December when we met. And take a couple more deep breaths. Hear that wind chime. Know that you are still firmly grounded in the present moment. And just think about those 3 words that describe where you were. And now, in your mind, I want you to find your feet. Keeping your eyes closed, just in your mind, find your feet. And your starting point, where your feet are standing right now, is the last day of the retreat in December. And now you're going to start walking down a path. And I want you to imagine every couple of steps is a new day. So you're walking through December into your decision to work with me, into your decision to sign up for this coaching package. You're walking through the new year, your intentions for the new year. You're walking through January and our first sessions together. Each step, you look around and you notice each day. And maybe you notice those 3 words that you used to identify your experience in December are changing as you walk. As you walk through the calendar, you're at the end of January, maybe you notice those words are completely different. Maybe they're just not there at all. As you think about your experience with coaching, you think about your experiences, the decisions that you've made, your relationships, maybe you notice those words dissolving or transforming into something else. You're at the end of January, the beginning of February. Just make a note of if there are any new words that identify your experience, just make a note of what those are. Maybe you look around you, January 30th, January 31st, you're looking around. Are there 31 days? I'm not sure. You're looking around. What do you see? What do you feel? What excites you as you then take another step forward? February 1st. You're in the second month of coaching in the Shift into Self-Acceptance program. Each day looks different. You see your manifestations before your eyes. You've had 4 one-on-one coaching sessions. You've had movement sessions. You've connected with new people and new experiences. And maybe as you walk down this calendar path, some new, very bold words come to mind about your experience today. As you land into your body today and you hear those wind chimes and you feel your hands on your heart and your belly, and you remember and recall all the times you've shown up for yourself, all the feelings of joy that you've experienced, all of the transformations that you've witnessed within yourself. Maybe 3 brand new, bold, bright words appear in your mind that can describe your experience. Listen to those wind chimes. Feel your feet planted in this present moment. Feel your breath in your body. And as you land here on today, February 21st, 2024, imagine party poppers going off around you. Imagine everyone cheering you on as you open your eyes and step back into this present moment and wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a big hug. All of the many versions of you are saying you've done such an amazing job. We are so proud of you. Thank you for all of the work you've done. You open your eyes and you see San Marcos, the beautiful backyard that you love. You see the present day in front of you. And take another big breath in and big breath out. One more big breath in. Big breath out. What are the last 3 words that you landed on?
Brave and it was like a toss up between like conscious and connected
Hmm.
because they're kind of the same and not the same. But I didn't have a third word.
We can let
But
conscious and
loving,
connected be clear.
yeah, loving stayed with me pretty much through all of it. It's funny, the word excitement was there in December and that one faded away to be more like purposeful and like intentful. And holy shit, so much has changed.
What do you feel has changed the most?
Well, my word for the year is trust, and I literally left a contractor at my house. Like, I didn't ask other people to help me pick the tile stuff. I like, as soon as it came to me and it connected, I was like, nope, that's it. Like, I trusted it.
Hmm.
Powerful. God, if I've done all this since December, then holy fuck, we have a whole
Yes, sister.
shit. There's so much more
Limitless.
time.
You are limitless, my friend.
Because there's enough for everybody because it's abundant.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Man, what am I gonna do at the end of this?
At the end of what?
Hard time.
Oh, you're gonna keep doing all of this, babe.
This part.
Yes, you are. You are fully empowered. And you already know that after working with me, you have another person that you're delighted to spend time with. I can't remember. I think it was the person you've been using her cards, right? Or no?
I don't even remember.
It's okay. And you can always return to coaching with me. And I'm really not in the business of like telling you that you're not healed. You are fully healed. Like you are a healed person and I'm not here to keep you entrapped in coaching with me.
No, I'm
We-
like, I know I'll see you in May, but also like I like our meetings and stuff, and it's like gonna be scary to graduate.
Hmm. And
I
you
guess
know that
scary.
you are fully empowered.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a magical ass being. I mean, we just walked through the last 2.5 months and you've completely catapulted through anything that you thought was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that's changed. And it's all good stuff. Really good stuff.
You have all of the tools that you need, and you'll learn even more that resonate when they resonate. Some will fall away, some will come back, but you know you have all the tools that you need to do exactly what we just did right now. We have a whole other month to go, but you are fully empowered to create the life of your dreams and to celebrate yourself and pour into yourself and love yourself and give yourself credit for all that you're doing. We're not done yet, but I wanted you to see how far you've come. I wanted you to see exactly how powerful you are, exactly how worthy of celebration you are. So that next month and the month after that and the year after that and the decade after that, every time moving forward, you can just be free. You can be so free because you know, like, oh God, this is so good. And the second that I don't like it anymore, I can just change it.
Yes.
The second that it doesn't align, I can trust myself. That is huge. Your word for the year is trust. And like, I love that example of picking out your kitchen aesthetic because it is such a simple thing, but it is such a big thing, especially for women. How many times have you gone shopping and took a picture of everything that you tried on and sent it to someone and been like, "What about this?" or "What about this?" or "Does this look okay?" Like that is something that I've done. And for you to just be like, "No, this is what I want." And period. The end. That's like a big deal. That's so huge. And it's just been like a million moments of that. And it's just so beautiful and you are so fully empowered, excited, fated to purposeful intention. You are beyond being excited without any understanding of what might happen, and you are now what's better than being excited? Being in full knowing that you're just going to have what you want. That's better
Yeah.
than excited. Like I don't even need to have because anxiety, excitement, nervousness, it's all the same stuff. And it just comes from this like, do we put a positive spin on it or do we put a negative spin on it? But it all comes from the same spot. But so does our knowing. And so when you're like, oh no, I am just going to have what I want, you can like settle all of the butterflies that come with anxiety or come with like excitement or nervousness. And you can just be fully rooted in like, I'm a bad bitch that gets what I want. And so I'm just going to have that. And then you get to just be joyful about what you already have and you don't have to be nervous about anything. I'm so in love with like this whole, the results of that meditation are just 10 trillion times better than I could have ever imagined. Mm.
Oh, man. I'm
Mm.
growing up.
You sure are. You sure are. Isn't it so nice?
It is. It is.
You're
It is
growing
amazing.
into a person who can play, you're growing into a person who can celebrate, you're growing into a person who can own her shit, you're growing into a person that holds herself accountable, you're growing into a person that holds her boundaries, you're growing into a person that uses her voice, who knows what she wants, who asks for what she wants. You're growing into a person that accepts that people are limited and that is not your problem.
Yeah.
You're growing to into a person that knows that you are limitless because you are doing the work to relieve yourself of all of your limiting beliefs.
Yes. Yes, I am.
You're growing into a person that is going to be joyful, that is joyful, already joyful about so many things. And now you get to be joyful about the whole thing.
Yes. Yes, I do. And I get to be an awesome role model for my kids and for other people.
Fuck yeah. Hmm. What else are you going to do today?
I have to finish working.
Oh, yeah, the job.
Yeah. I was like, no, I will break up my day and work half my day, drive up to San Marcos. The plan was to be here about 20 minutes before you and I were supposed to meet, so I had time to like settle in. But a train was like, no, ma'am. No. They're like, you're gonna watch me go by. And I'm like, yes, I am.
I am getting punched in the face with the universe being like, "Oh, you had a plan? Haha." So,
I grew up with my dad saying that man plans, God laughs.
yeah. I mean, it's that's like such a brutal way of saying it, but it's true.
Yep.
Like I've I always will talk about non-attachment. I think sometimes it's easy to lose track of like a balance of like wanting and desiring and non-attachment. Like there's a beautiful balance in there, and I think it's really easy for me anyway to like swing to maybe too much non-attachment of like not striving for or caring about things. um but there are some things that like I have a plan, I get very attached to that plan and I want it to go a certain way, and right now I'm being called to release my plan.
And
So
trust that it'll work out a different way for you.
and just trust. Yeah. So we're all working. We're all
Yep.
doing something. Everything's
I mean, how many times did I write down that I wanted another pet sitter to come to San Marcos and for my like sister to also put it down that she was looking for a pet sitter and for me to be like, Andy the alchemist, help me continue to manifest it. And we're all just like, never mind.
Never mind. Well, what
Like
else?
driving here, my body's like, you should play the fucking lottery. Okay. Is this our plan?
Is this
Okay.
the new plan? That is so funny. That is so funny. And I'm doing the exact same thing in my life. I'm like, is this it? Is this what we're doing? I don't know. Anyway, I'm so proud of you, my friend. I have so much love for you. I'm just like, it's just tremendous where you've landed so far.
I can't even imagine what it's gonna look like at the end of March.
Hmm. I'm so
Like, God, I felt like I grew physically, like I was no longer 5'1", and now I feel like I'm getting closer to 6 foot, and I don't know what's gonna happen.
I love that so much. That is so cute. You are. You're the biggest. You take up the most space. You are the sweetest, most
It's like, yes, I
loving.
do. Oh, that puppy. Because
That
I was
was
like,
his
yes,
fault.
we do. We take up all the space.
All of it.
Aw.
Okay, my friend. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm so proud of you.
When do we meet next week? What is
Let's let's talk about that. Okay, so I have down a group movement on Friday the 1st.
okay?
And then,
You're out of town the next week,
yes,
and you're gonna have such an amazing time.
I am. It's going to
It's
be,
gonna be beautiful.
yes. And then, so we'll have group movement Friday the 1st. That'll be drip at, excuse me, at 10 a.m. And then, I don't know why. I have that there. And then on the week of the 11th through the 16th, so that Thursday, we can have, well, oh yeah, so that Thursday we have our one-on-ones, and I have you at 1 p.m. Is that
Awesome.
okay?
Yes, I will
Uh,
probably be in Florida, but we do it over Zoom, so it works out anyway.
yeah, perfect.
Show you some
Um,
water.
yeah, you can take your meeting on the beach, baby. Hell yeah. And then we'll have after that we'll have our Wednesday like mindset meltdown call. And then on the 28th we'll have our final meeting. And I don't know what that'll look like yet. I would love for it to be some kind of celebration. Maybe you and I can like meet in person. I'm not sure. We'll imagine what that looks like. Um, but um, but for now, that's the schedule. The 1st, the 14th, the 20th, and the 28th.
Perfect.
Okay. And if you need me to like write that down and text it to you, I can do that.
I think I'm good. I think most of it I have written down,
Okay, cool.
but I will confirm inside when I figure out where I packed my plan.
Where everything is. Okay, boo. Well, have a wonderful time up there and enjoy those puppies. Enjoy yourself. Message me if you need anything.
I will. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.
Bye.